You gotta put the good stuff in your head, man. They even got awesome Christian rap now. Anyways, I was gonna talk about kind of what I talk about. I have a heavy fusion of science and spirituality. And I just wanted to talk about science a little bit because it has become the new religion. But the odd thing is it was basically invented for the application of studying God's creations, right? All these cool things in our world. It's a uniformed, logical, tangible way to figure out all this cool stuff and what we can do with it, things that God created. Somewhere in there, we started worshiping the creations and not who created it. And then everybody likes to talk about like, oh, proof God exists. I'm like, science is a study of his creations. Like that's how it started because they're so crazy. And then everybody just, I don't know if it appeals to the ego so much when you learn a certain amount of things. But any scientist that like really understands it knows that it's still the study of God's creations. We still barely know much about it. We can figure out how stuff works maybe and give names to its parts, but why it works and what energizes it, what changes it, I don't know, all that stuff. I mean, you can evolutionize stuff all you want. Even that's messed up. If you really get into something like evolution, you'll see that we devolved, not evolved. Everybody's so smart though. But yeah, and I privy it to like, say you made your kid a cool toy. And then they just become obsessed with the toy and how it works and playing with it and forget all about that you made it for them. If you ask them, who do you love more, your father or your toy? And I like my toy better. How childish is that? Some might do that. I don't know. Just something that I was thinking about. Yeah. So excuse me. So I use a lot of science because that's what led me to God. You get deep enough into it and you start seeing, oh, because it eventually gets kind of metaphysical and all that stuff. And you realize it all boils down to all these weird Nikola Tesla type stuff, vibrations, light, and energy. And that is not in what we would normally think of the physical, well, we can touch stuff. We can feel the heat of light, but we can't touch light. We can bend it, blah, blah, blah. Vibrations. You can't just grab it, but you can feel it. Wind. You can't grab it with your hand, but you sure know it's there. Or air. Like, it all gets really spiritual and energetic after a while. And, it's like a different world or dimension, and it affects the physical world. And you can get really deep into it, and even all the physical stuff you can touch just boils down to some energy and blah, blah, blah. But all I see is people like science. You have to believe the science or trust the science. And it's like they don't even know how to read a clinical study. Which is excuse me. Oh. The temperature here went from like, it's 60 right now. It was like 8 the other day. 60 the day before. Kind of gets you a little, But, yeah, watching people just worship this science. And the scientists are like the priests, and they just go on faith at whatever the priests say is right. Because they're scientists and they know better. Like, and everybody's got to disclaim, I'm no scientist. Dude, it's not that hard to read and understand this stuff. But there's been a belief injected in there, like, you don't know shit because you don't got the degree. And it's becoming a real big problem. Sorry for the muffled, talking loud in here muffles the microphone. But yeah, it's apparently becoming a big problem. People are just ignoring the actual science and just believing everything that they're told by somebody with a degree. Don't even know their name, don't know who they work for, don't know who paid them, or anything. Just believe them. Yeah, how's that working out for everybody? Crazy.